Hey vets, Debus here, Director of Military and Veterans Law here at Stone Rose Law. As we've discussed many times, getting an accurate compensation and pension or C&P exam is paramount to ensuring you get an accurate disability rating. This is one part in our upcoming series about different examinations and how to prepare for them. Today, we're talking about your upcoming foot exam, and while we're not going to cover every possible foot or toe condition, we'll focus on some key concepts and the most common disabilities that impact veterans. Two most common foot conditions are pes planus, otherwise known as flat feet, and plantar fasciitis. So let's start with plantar fasciitis. The plantar fascia is a band of tissue that runs from the base of your toes to the heel on the bottom of your foot. Now, sometimes, due to various causes, that tissue can become painful, leading to a pulling, tearing, or burning sensation along the bottom of the foot. VA ratings for plantar fasciitis are fairly straightforward. If you got plantar fasciitis, it's 10%. If it's in one foot and hasn't improved with surgical and non-surgical treatment, it's 20%. And if it's in both feet and it hasn't improved with surgical and non-surgical treatment, it's 30%. Let's talk about pes planus. This happens when the arch of your foot collapses or it wasn't there to begin with. If you remember going to MEPS or boot camp, you would step on that glass box with the mirror and people would look at your feet. Well, what they're doing is evaluating your arch to see, do you have no arch, low arches, normal arches, or high arches? Now, some people are naturally flat-footed and have no issues, while others develop problems during military service due to stress and poor footwear. Now, much of the ratings for pes planus or flat feet are objective, meaning it is based on what your examiner can actually see and quantify, rather than your retelling of your symptoms. These ratings are based on things like the tenderness of your feet, the structure or alignment of your arch and your Achilles tendon, and the degree of pronation or the inward bowing of your foot caused by not having an arch, as well as the presence or absence of certain calluses. These factors are how the VA determines your rating. Now, it's important to understand and communicate the pain you feel, whether it's during use, when your feet are being touched or manipulated, or after walking for any period of time. And it's very important to mention any tenderness or pain that you feel when you stand on your feet or when your feet are touched or manipulated, particularly on the bottoms of your feet. Besides plantar fasciitis and pes planus, other common foot issues include bunions, otherwise known as Hallux valgus. If you've had a bunionectomy or a bunion is so severe that it's the equivalent of having your big toe amputated, it's 10%. Now, hammer toes. So if all of your toes are affected, it's a 10% rating. If less than all of your toes are affected, it's unfortunately a 0%. Now, there are other foot disabilities like pes cavus or an extremely high arch or a tarsal malunion or an issue with the bones of your foot. But these are almost entirely based on what the examiner sees, and therefore subjective symptoms don't really come into account. In any VA exam, it is vital that you explain your symptoms clearly, especially how those conditions affect your work and daily life. So vets, keep in mind that if you take any pain medication, including Motrin, frequently, you may want to consult with your medical provider about possibly tapering off your pain meds to ensure you receive a fair evaluation. The diagnostic codes for your feet do not consider the ameliorative effects of medication. Therefore, if you are taking pain meds, you are not going to be accurately evaluated. But again, I'm not telling you not to take medication. That is between you and your physician. Veterans, if you have any other concerns or questions about your upcoming foot examination, please don't hesitate to reach out to our team at 480-498-8998 or email your case manager or attorney and we'd be happy to discuss further. And if you're not a client of Stone Rose Law and you have any other questions, again, don't hesitate to reach out.